Alright, what's up you guys? Welcome back to Trippy Speaks UFC. We are the champions of the MMA content creation world. The rest of the world is just contenders. And look you guys, we got a banger of a UFC fight night main event coming up this Saturday. God knows we needed this because boy, the past fight night main events have been pretty trash to say the least. But you guys really need to tune in for this one because not only will it probably be an exciting fight, it will also be one that will mean a lot to the middleweight division, especially in terms of the rankings. Alright, without wasting any more of you guys' time, here is my final breakdown and prediction for who I think is going to win come fight night. So without further ado, let's jump straight into it, shall we? Okay, so let's start with Marvin Vettori and let's break down what he brings to the fight. So Marvin Vettori brings high-level wrestling, high-level grappling, a chin, endurance, freaking wrestling. Marvin Vettori has pretty much a complete game, almost, that is. And when I say almost, Marvin Vettori's cons is just the fact that he has slow hands and pretty bad footwork. That's it. Other than that, Marvin Vettori fights with a toughness and a meanness. He's going to go in there and look to finish Paulo Costa, you guys. Marvin Vettori is also durable as hell. I mean, the guy can really take punishment. Look at the size of the dude's neck. And that guy's Italian, man. You don't know what the heck they're putting in that pasta over there, boy. Because Marvin Vettori is also a pretty big dude. The size factor alone probably won't matter too much in this fight. Do you know who he's fighting? You know, Paulo Costa. But I am going to mention his cardio only because he has the cardio advantage, I feel, against Paulo Costa at least. And as for Marvin's striking, he doesn't have very much. He did outstrike Jack Hermanson, but the truth is about Marvin, he has good power, he has decent striking. So he has decent power, decent striking, and a really good chin. So that makes for his striking game to be pretty effective for what he uses it for, and that is pretty much to set up his wrestling and his takedowns. Will that be apparent against Paulo Costa? We'll get into that, but my thing is that Marvin Vettori, to match all of that, he has the intensity. He fights angry. He fights. The only downside to Marvin Vettori is that when he does fight like that, his fight IQ isn't the highest. But Marvin Vettori brings it. And although his performances isn't always the most exciting, he is coming in there to compete and he's coming in there to win. And not only is he coming in there to win, he's coming in there to finish the guy. Even if he can't even do it, he's going to try. But with that being said, let's break down his opponent, and that is no other than Paulo the Eraser Costa. Okay, so right off the bat, what we notice about Paulo Costa is not just, how jacked and ripped and how buff he is and how he looks like he's on steroids, or he probably is on steroids according to what everybody else thinks in the community, or in that the fact that he should probably be on some Brazilian magazine for a photo shoot. But unless he is juicing, his looks isn't going to win him the fight. Because let's be honest, if this was a freaking who looks better competition, Paulo Costa would probably win this 10 out of 10 times. But anyway, we're getting sidetracked. So basically what we first notice about Paulo Costa's game is his pressure. His pressure is relentless, and his pressure crumbles most people if you're not named Yoel Romero. Now, remember this. Paulo Costa is only 13-1. He's only lost once in the sport of mixed martial arts, and that is to the champion Israel Adesanya, which, that loss, man, Israel Adesanya is looking so dominant right now. So what? Don't sweat it. And Marvin Vettori also lost to Israel Adesanya. Both of these guys lost to Israel Adesanya, which is the one thing that they have in common. Or the second thing that they have in common. We'll get into the one thing that they have in common. They have two things in common. But pretty much, Paulo Costa comes forward with heavy boxing and heavy kicks, and he looks to put you out with a ton of volume. Paulo Costa isn't just a one-shot knockout guy, although I feel like he can be. He's just not accurate enough, I guess, because whenever he comes in, he's winging wild, strong punches trying to get you out of there with volume. And if he has you hurt, dude, he's going to non-stop try to kill you. That's just how this guy fights. And then on top of that, to match, whenever you would think a guy with forward pressure like that, he'd probably walk into counter shots or takedowns. Well, although he does walk into counter shots, he doesn't walk into takedowns that much. Yoel Romero took him down a few times, but Paulo Costa actually has pretty bulletproof grappling defense. I mean, the guy got right back up when Yoel Romero got him down. Remember, Yoel Romero is an Olympic-style wrestler. And Paulo Costa sprung back up each time that he took him down. Paulo Costa has pretty good grappling defense. As a matter of fact, Paulo Costa allegedly has pretty good grappling, period. Apparently, he's a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Why the guy hasn't shown much of his grappling? Well, because the guy doesn't have the best gas tank. And the other thing that him and Marvin have in common is the intensity. Paulo Costa comes to win too. He comes to fight. This guy will bring it to you even on his worst day. Okay, I take that back. Maybe not on his worst day, because on his worst day, he's probably drinking wine. And we all know what wine does to Paulo Costa. It makes you stand right in front of one of the most elite strikers in the entire UFC and get picked apart with kicks and jabs for the most part, and knocked out in the second round. No kid Paulo Costa, but please don't bring that excuse to this fight. And speaking of excuses, Paulo Costa apparently is going to miss weight. The guy is 211 pounds right now, and the fight is less than 5 days from now. So, isn't that a bummer? Doesn't that just get you pumped up for the fight, And that was going to be my next point, that Paulo is probably going to be a lot bigger than, Marvin, but, and stronger. But, definitely now, because the guy is going to be way overweight. But I need to say this last thing about Paulo Costa's game, because this is very important, especially if he wants to win this fight, in my opinion. Paulo Costa has some of the best body shots and the best body kicks in the entire division. Paulo Costa rips your body on fire with those hooks to the body. That's straight to the body. The freaking body kicks to the body. It makes a loud smack once it bounces off your stomach, If he wants to win this fight, I'd say that is a very valuable weapon he needs to use against Marvin. But with that being said, who do I got winning this fight? So when you break the fight down more objectively, you realize that this is actually a pretty close fight on paper. Marvin Vettori is a wrestler with decent striking, and Paulo Costa, in my opinion, holds a clear advantage there. Because Paulo Costa goes forward, and Marvin Vettori doesn't have the best footwork. I mean, the guy has slow feet, and he has slow hands. Early on, you're going to see a speed advantage, and who has the clear striking advantage early. Marvin Vettori has actually improved his head movement over the fights, because he used to not have head movements. He used to throw shots with his head completely still and throw from the shoulders. But he's kind of sort of fixed that, because he didn't get hit with pot shots like how he did against Israel Adesanya. But then again, that was him going forward most of the fight. This fight, he's probably going to have to bang it out in the center of the cage. Well, lucky for him, Paulo Costa actually doesn't throw that many punches in the center. He waits to back you up and then barrage you with volume. And with those body kicks and body shots, he should be able to back up Marvin Vettori. Those body shots are going to take the wind out of Marvin Vettori early. Mark my words. If Paulo goes to them, he is going to take the win out of Marvin. Marvin's going to really feel those body shots. And if Paulo goes to it a lot, which I do think that the body shot is going to be there basically all night, if he goes to it, it is going to play him dividends at the end of the round, because at the end of the fight, Marvin doesn't have the best cardio, but he does have better cardio than Paulo Costa. But Paulo Costa can definitely slow down some of that cardio if he attacks that body. But like I said, man, if he's able to back up Marvin, and if Paulo Costa's takedown defense proves to be too much early on, Marvin's going to have a rough 2 first rounds, you guys. A rough 2 first rounds, because Paulo's not going to back off. Paulo's going to try and kill him. Now, I'm not just going to completely crap on Marvin Vettori's striking. He does have the striking capability to box back with Paulo Costa. It's just that I don't think that he's going to have the power to really make Paulo relent. And any wrestler going backwards is going to be affected by that pressure. But this all won't matter if Marvin Vettori can get Paulo down early, because I don't think that Marvin is really going to stand with Paulo that long. I think he knows Marvin is going to shoot, and he's going to shoot early. And honestly, Marvin's way to win this fight doesn't need to be an exciting fight. It doesn't need to be back and forth. Marvin needs to go in, shoot early, and make the fight boring as soon as the bell starts if he wants to win. Or if he really does want to finish Paulo, maybe try to finish him on the feet in the 4th or 5th rounds. Because this is a 5-round fight. And that leads right into my prediction. It's just that if Marvin has a great chin, if he's able to survive that early barrage, he's probably going to win this fight. It's just that I don't know if he's going to be able to consistently take Paulo down. I believe that he can get him down, but I don't know if he can consistently take him down over and over again. I believe that the few times he does take him down, he really needs to make something happen, because if Paulo keeps springing up, Marvin, like I said, doesn't have the greatest cardio either, so they're both bound to slow down. But I believe that Marvin is going to have the heart and the wind to keep it pushing, where Paulo is going to completely fall apart. anytime you make Paulo Costa doubt himself in the fight, he starts to crumble and crumble badly and start making a lot of mistakes and start swinging. Just instead of pacing himself more and keeping his breath, he swings more and more and more big giant bombs, hoping to put you down with him. And I think that leads right into my prediction, because then I think the takedowns will be able to come easier. Marvin's going to be able to take the back of Paulo and choke out a tired Paulo Costa, maybe in the 3rd or 4th round. So that's my final prediction. I believe that Marvin Vettori goes through hell for the first 2 rounds and survive the storm, get Paulo down, probably land a few ground and pounds if Paulo's jiu-jitsu tend to be too much, and possibly choke Paulo Costa out or finish him in the 4th round. So I'm going with a 4th round submission from Marvin Vettori. If you guys agree, let me know down in the comments. If you guys disagree, let me know down in the comments. But if you like the video, let me know. It's been your boy Trippy, and I'm out. Peace.